Hello everyone, this is Vishale from Vision Language Experts. Today we'll be discussing about reading grammar rules. Reading can be very easy if you know these rules, so stay tuned till the very end. But before that, if you have not subscribed to our channel, make sure you do and click on the bell icon so that when we upload new video, which can be very helpful in your PTE journey, you will be notified. Grammar can be a very complex topic for a lot of students. So today we'll be trying to simplify it and we will pinpoint those grammar rules which can be really helpful to solve your reading and writing blanks and reading blanks. So make sure you take pen and copy and write down all the grammar rules. We will be also playing some exercises as well. So stay tuned till the very end.
Now, whenever there is an article, guys, before a blank, such as a, an, or the answer is always going to be a noun. Okay, so this is very important grammar rule which is going to help you in the blanks. So for example, me and my dad went to a dash to watch a movie. Went to a theater, went to a mall. Okay, but over here we have an article over here, and then there is a blank over here, and then the blank over here is always going to be a noun because there's an article before the blank. So whenever you get any article, it's always going to be a noun over here. Okay, you have to make sure that whenever you're practicing your reading, you understand the difference between a noun, between adjective, between verb, and between adverb. So that's why I'm going to briefly explain each one of them to you guys so that you guys understand the rules of grammar as well, which are based on them. Okay, let's talk about the basic rules which will help you guys to get better marks in your reading blanks and reading and writing blanks, right, for PTE. Now, let's quickly talk about parts of speech. Nouns. What are nouns? Nouns are the words which are used for things, like for places, for people, for feelings, for concepts. Okay, nouns can be singular also, plural also. So whenever we talk about nouns, you also have to think that noun is particular word, thing, place. It can be a person, it can be about feelings or concepts. Okay, so it's very important that you understand the actual meaning of noun. There can be proper nouns, there can be common nouns, there can be uncountable nouns. Okay, so that is firstly what we call a noun. Let's talk about adjectives. Adjectives are those words that describes the nouns. Okay, so such as a word which is actually describing about the situation, about the perception of a noun, such as in this particular case we have taken example of adjective which is beautiful. A beautiful flower. Flower is a noun. Okay, but beautiful is the adjective. Large heart, large house. Large is going to be adjective, house is going to be a noun. Okay, so the thing which explain the noun further, that's what we call the adjective. Verbs are the things which are considered as activities. Okay, when you're doing something, when you're eating, when you're laughing, when you're running. Okay, so it is very important that when you are doing something, it is always considered as a verb. Okay, but on the other hand, adverbs are the words which describe verbs. Okay, such as quickly, fastly, slowly. Okay, so you're running is an activity, but if you're doing it slowly, that is an adverb. Okay, you are running quickly, that is going to be again an adverb. All right, so make sure that you understand this distinction. Okay, rule number 2 says if the blank is placed between an article and a noun, then the answer will always be an adjective. Now, what was adjective? Adjective are those words which describes the noun. Okay, so if there is an article and there's a noun and there's a blank in between that particular article and noun, it's going to be always adjective, and that adjective would be describing the noun. So let's say Sydney is a huge city. Sydney is a beautiful city. Okay, let's talk about next rule. Now, if there is a possessive pronoun such as my, our, your, his, her, its, and their, and so on, before a blank, the answer is always going to be a noun. Okay, so let's say in this case, this is our house, this is our classroom, this is my pen. Okay, and so on. So whenever there's a possessive pronoun, it's always going to be a noun. Now, what is noun? Particular thing, particular place, particular concept, even feelings. Okay, so it's always going to be a noun here, guys. It cannot be adjective, it cannot be a verb. So make sure whenever you get blank and there is a possessive pronoun there, always look for a noun. Okay, let's move on to the next rule. If there is a blank placed between a possessive pronoun, what are the possessive pronouns? All these words, okay, such as my, our, yours, and so on, and a noun, the answer will always be an adjective. Now, what was adjective? The words which describes the noun. So when there is a possessive pronoun, then there's a blank, and then there's a noun. Before the noun, it's always going to be an adjective. Okay, so over here, he enjoyed our dash choreography. He enjoyed our new choreography, modified choreography, colorful choreography. Okay, so whenever you have a blank and then a noun, most of the time before that particular noun, most of time it's going to be adjective. Okay, as we have seen in this rule and as we have seen in this rule as well. Okay, but moving on to the next one now. If there is a helping verb before a blank, okay, what are helping verbs? Is, am, are, was, and so on. Okay, if there is a helping verb before a blank, the answer will always be a verb in the third form. Okay, so the answer is always going to be a third form or a continuous form, which is ing. Now, what are third forms? The words with ed, ending with d, ending with t, ending with n, ending with en, ending with ne. Okay, so make sure that you remember this. So there's going to be a verb with a third form or the continuous form, which is going to be ing. So for example, Matthew is eating in his room, sleeping in his room. It's going to be with ing in a continuous form. We are afraid to go outside. We are scared with ed, to go outside. The Taj Mahal was built, created in the 18th century. Okay, so with t at the end or with ed at the end. So always make sure that if there is a helping verb and then there is going to be a blank, it's always going to be either in ing or either in the third form, never in the first form. Okay, let's move on to the next important rule here, guys. If there is a blank after the words be or been, the answer will be a verb in the third or continuous form. Okay, if there is a blank after the words be or been, the answer will be always in the third form. Okay, what are the third forms? All these words ending with ed, d, t, n, en or ne, or in ing. So he seems to be lost, invested. She has been dancing all day long, with ing, practicing all day long. Okay, so make sure that you remember this rule. Very helpful rule, guys. Okay, let's move on to the very last rule, guys, which says when the sentence is linked by and or. Now this is, I would say, mostly considered not as a grammar rule but as a overall trick or tip for you guys to use in your reading and writing blanks. So whenever you get a sentence and it is linked by and or, so that means the blank has the words with and or before or after. Okay, then the two words before and after the connector, which is and or, will have similar or complementary meanings. If there is and word, it's going to have similar meanings. Okay, but if it is or, it's going to have complementary meanings. Okay, so you need to make sure that whenever you use the knowledge from this particular rule, always try to look for words before and or after and, okay, as per the location of the option, and then try to place the meaning. If it is and, it's going to be similar. If it is or, it's going to be complementary. In this case, where we have used or, bus or train, complementary mode of transport, either bus or either train. Okay, so it's very important that you understand this rule thoroughly. Okay,
So hopefully you guys understood all the basic grammar rules to increase your marks in reading and writing blanks. Make sure that you apply them, practice them, and you can save this video so that if you need to recap, you can always come here and recap it. Make sure that you go and watch our other videos as well, which are on the templates and which will give you insights about how to get perfect 90 out of 90 in other modules as well. Thank you guys, Vishale from Visual Language Experts. If you have not subscribed this channel, make sure you do so that it gives us a motivation to make more videos like this. And in the comment box, make sure that you comment which video you want us to make next tutorial on so that we can help you to crack your PTE in 2024, because that's the aim of Visual Language Experts this year. Thank you guys.